Stephen Colbert's unseen moments, the off-air secrets you missed. If you've ever sat in the audience at the Ed Sullivan Theater, or even just watched from the comfort of your couch, you know the magic of The Late Show. There's the biting satire, the celebrity interviews, and of course, the infectious energy of Stephen Colbert himself. But what you see on TV is a polished, edited sliver of the full experience. The real magic often happens when the cameras aren't rolling. We're taking a deep dive into the unseen world of Stephen Colbert, the rituals, the commercial break chaos, and the candid moments that make him one of the most beloved hosts in late-night history. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, these off-air secrets reveal the human heartbeat behind the show. The pre-show ritual, slaps, and superstitions. Before the band strikes that opening note and the lights go up, Stephen has a routine that is equal parts superstitious and intensely human. You might think a seasoned pro like him just walks out and turns on the charm, but the reality is far more relatable. Backstage, moments before his entrance, Stephen has a specific circuit. He shakes the hands of his crew, not just the producers, but the sound guys, the electricians, the people who make the machine run. It's a grounding exercise, a way to connect with the team before facing the lights. But the most famous and startling part of his ritual happens just before he steps onto the stage. Standing in the wings, Stephen will often pop a single Altoid for the guest's sake, and then, get this, slap himself in the face. Twice, and not gently either. He does it hard enough to sting, hard enough to wake up the nervous system. It's his way of ensuring he is 100% present, physically and mentally, for the audience. It's a raw, vulnerable moment of preparation that screams, "I care about this." The commercial break chaos. On TV, a commercial break is a seamless fade to black. In the studio, it's a controlled fire drill. The second the director yells clear, the energy in the room shifts instantly. The band takes over. Louis Cato and the Late Show Band don't stop playing. In fact, they often ramp it up, turning the studio into a mini concert hall to keep the audience's energy high. Stephen's shift. Stephen doesn't just sit at his desk scrolling through his phone. He is often in deep consultation with producers, reviewing notes for the next segment, or sometimes rewriting a joke on the fly. You can see the gears turning in his head. The guest interaction. This is the most telling part. When the cameras are off, you see the genuine chemistry, or lack thereof, with guests he loves, like his old friend Jon Stewart or the delightful Meryl Streep. Stephen will lean in, chatting animatedly, laughing at off-record stories. It's in these quiet 3-minute windows that you realize his nice guy persona isn't an act. He's a gracious host even when no one is watching. The Q&A, the unscripted Stephen. Perhaps the biggest secret of the taping experience is the pre-show Q&A. Before the taping begins, Stephen comes out to warm up the crowd himself. This isn't a scripted monologue. It's 10 to 15 minutes of pure improvised interaction. Fans can ask him anything, and he answers with startling honesty. The Lord of the Rings geek-outs. If you ask him a Tolkien question, be prepared for a dissertation. He lights up, reciting poetry in Elvish or debating the lineage of fictional kings with the enthusiasm of a schoolboy. The personal questions. People ask about his wife, Evie, or his kids. He often shares sweet, self-deprecating stories about his home life. He once joked that his wife, Evie, doesn't watch the show every night, a humble admission that even TV stars have normal marriages where work is just work. The serious moments. Occasionally, someone asks a heavy question about grief or faith. The room goes silent, and Stephen drops the comedian act entirely, offering thoughtful, philosophical answers that leave the audience in awe. It's a side of him that rarely makes the final edit, but it's the side that makes him so deeply relatable. The Evie factor. Speaking of Evie, she is the unseen anchor of the show. Longtime fans know her from her occasional on-camera cameos, usually to roll her eyes at Stephen's antics, but her off-air influence is palpable. Crew members have whispered about how Stephen's entire demeanor softens if she's in the building. There's a famous story, often retold by lucky audience members, where Stephen, during a break, spotted Evie in the wings or the audience and just lit up, waving to her like a teenager seeing his crush. It's a reminder that behind the political satire and the sharp suit is a man who is madly in love with his wife. Why these moments matter. In an era where everything feels manufactured, these off-air secrets remind us why we tune in to Stephen Colbert night after night. It's not just for the news or the jokes, it's for the humanity. Knowing that he gets nervous enough to slap himself awake, that he nerds out over fantasy novels with strangers, or that he cherishes a wave from his wife during a stressful taping makes the show feel less like a production and more like a conversation. Next time you watch The Late Show, look for those little sparks in his eyes. Now you know, they might be there because he just had a great off-camera chat, or maybe, just maybe, he's still feeling the sting of that pre-show slap, reminding him to give you everything he's got.